We MotoGP is in Hungary at the Balaton. I'm pretty sure I'm jacking up racetrack. They just left Czech Bruno, the Red Bull Ring. I guess before we move on to this weekend, I mean, you guys have any comments? Anything you want to talk about from this past weekend? Marquez is continuing his dominance in the race weekend, winning the sprint and the main race. Um, what are your thoughts, TJ? I'm sure you got some things to say.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I know you love your guy Pecco. I know Bobby Shakes hates hearing about Pecco, but what was he doing? Like him in the sprint, just pulling in. Like I think you got to finish the race, man. Like I know he's unhappy with what's going on, but right now he's looking like a quitter. I don't know if he's trying to make a statement to say like I'm telling you I need changing to feel more comfortable,
Right.
but it just didn't look good for his side of the, being a factory Ducati racer, and his effort. I feel like other racers give more effort than what he's given and riding around harder problems than he is. And another thing is, I want to know why Yamaha had such a bad weekend. So yeah, those two things were pretty interesting to me this past weekend. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why Yamaha had a bad weekend. I mean, it seems like all other bikes had more power. But I don't think it was just that. I mean, I think it might have been a little bit something else, and I think they came out over the weekend apologizing after the fact and so forth. But it's not a good look when they have that many championships, for sure. And Pecco, um, he qualified well, third on the grid. Bezecchi qualified first, so that was great to see. I forget who qualified second now. It's slipping me for some reason. I'd have to look and see. But he qualified really good, so I thought he was going to have a pretty good weekend. Um, we definitely saw it in the sprint race. He was having issues, and he pitted, so that's unfortunate. The race weekend, I mean, I think he finished seventh or eighth or something like that. I mean, I think for him, it's unfortunately, it's going to take a miracle for him to win a podium this year at this point. So, it's unfortunate, but we got to talk about other riders because I mean that's been his mo all season so far, figuring that bike out. Is I think is his first season in a long time having this much issue on the bike, and that's unfortunate. And I assume no one's more frustrated than he is. So that's the downside. But Bezecchi look really well. Them KTM's look really well. The Prius look really well. So I mean, it was still a good look for a lot of riders coming back after the breaks. What are your thoughts, Shakes?
I, it's what I've been saying the whole season, and I've been really consistent on my opinions, which started as opinion week one because it was too early to have facts in week one. But now as we've gone through the middle of the season, my opinions have now turned to facts. I've always said all season that the Aprilia and the Red Bull is the bike that could make a move. And I've been saying that all season, and I totally believe it. Honda has snuck in a couple of times, and they've been 2 in a million long shots. Rain, typhoon, snowstorm. Like, wait a second, is it a snowstorm in the middle of July? Yeah, it is. And then Honda takes the win. But I think that Red Bull and Aprilia has the machine. I think it's too late now for Pecco to be crying. It's too late. You can make a run for the podium, and you can make. I mean podium. I mean, the big bottle of champagne, and you're the winner. There's still a lot left. A lot could happen, but I think it's too late for Pecco to take this seriously. I think he's been a no-show all season.
Well, I mean that's a bit strong, but
I mean, think about it. We're halfway through the season. For Pecco, the glass is not half full. It's
Yeah.
half empty.
Yeah. Okay. There's definitely something going on. So, we shall see as they say, as the season goes on. But Martin crashed out. I thought we would have seen his comeback weekend was, I wouldn't say pretty good, but it was better than this round. Second comeback and stuff like that. He did crash out in the main race. Had a big crash over the weekend, but he's all good. So it's unfortunate, but Raul looked really well on that Aprilia, like Shake says. But look at these KTM's. Costa got on the podium. Bastianini is looking there. Unfortunately for Morbidelli, he's not 100%. So for him, he had to pull out of the main race, and I think he even do Q2.
Yeah, I think we're at the apex, right? No pun intended. I think we're at the apex, and I think we've got one more turn left, and I just don't see. I don't see Martins doing anything. I think that he's riding with a 3,000-ton elephant in front of him. There's so much in front of Martins right now. There's so much going on. There's so much story, so much drama. This bike doesn't work. My teammate is carrying the torch. People say I only do it for money. People say I'm not loyal. There's a lot of things going on with Martins. And I think, in my opinion, which is probably wrong,
Mm-hmm.
when you're on that high caliber of a rider, I don't think outside distractions get into your head. So I believe the drama that we're talking about and what everybody else has been talking about, and remember, we've been consistent with this. We've been consistent with what we've been saying all season long. Best MotoGP podcast on the planet. It's factual. As we're hitting that apex and we're coming around and we see the checkered flag, I don't think he could do it. And like I said, he's a high class athlete. I don't think it's the noise outside of the paddock.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the noise inside of his head. And he can't get rid of the noise inside of his head. And I think that's it for him. And there's nothing worse than a fat guy sitting on a chair in a basement telling a high class athlete, world class athlete, that it's over for him.
Uh-huh.
I know that sounds a little crazy. But I believe for certain people, the season has just ran off. Pecco, it's ran off. Martins, it's ran off. And you could see it. All the guys that haven't been able to put the bullet in the bullseye, they're beginning to fade. Morbidelli, injuries. It's the first half of the season lets us know what the second half is going to be. And there could be a Trojan horse that takes it. Maybe Bezecchi. But everything's played out how it's been played out, because those are the seeds that have been sowed for the half the season. And for some riders, it's half empty. Some riders, it's half full.
You got to blame Mark, man.
Oh,
You got to blame. You got to blame them. You got to blame the Marquez brothers. I mean, look, they took over the season from the start. Like look at the point gap now with Mark compared to everybody else. There's like if you have the spotlight on you and they still count on you, you like you said, you get in your own head, but you're like it's damn near impossible. I mean, anything could happen in racing. Mark could get hurt, God forbid, and then Pecco might have a chance then, but you still got to race. So seeing him, like I said, just pit out. I mean, obviously it was a sprint. I don't think he was going to get any points, but yeah, I mean, I say you got to blame Mark. He took the soul out of everybody, And
I mean, Jesus Christ, you guys are rough.
I mean, look,
I wouldn't give as much credit.
He's been playing mind games in the beginning of the season. He did his little things at Coda, running off the track, switching bikes, and he changed up a rule because of him. Like he's been playing a couple games. He's also gotten lucky with red flags, but I mean, like
I mean, there's
I don't know.
I would say that
He's been perfect.
Marquez is
He's
doing
been
his
perfect.
thing, right? He's
He's
doing
been
his
doing his
thing.
thing.
Yeah, and I'll give him that. We know the issues with KTM, so we're not going to sit here and say the riders on KTM are fearing Mark. They're still trying to figure out, and they're trying to get where Ducati is at, right? You know what I mean? Let's calm down a little bit. I think the only person that's really expected to fight Marquez is Pecco Bagnaia because they're on the same bike, and he's two-time world championship, right? So I think that's what we're seeing. We see the Aprilia guys. A lot of people didn't expect much from Bezzecchi because he's on a new bike this year and stuff like that. And he's shining. And he's the one that's been kind of seeing Mark these last couple of rounds and pushing Mark a little bit. Or I'm not saying he's making Mark uncomfortable or anything like that, but he's the closest one that's pushing Mark. So Aldeguer, I mean, I think if he qualified better, he could have also maybe challenged Mark a little bit. He finished off his tires, chasing down Bez and all that. So I don't think these guys are fearing Mark. I think, I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know
I
how
didn't
many
mean
people
it that way.
I don't know how many people are running around here saying they want to play like someone else. I think they just want to get at him. But Mark is taking advantage of that. And I'll say, as far as Alex Marquez, I mean, he's still he got 276 points. So he got about, 40-something, 50-something points ahead of Pecco and so forth. But he's still down almost, 150 points. So from Mark. So I mean, I can't even say he's not in the running anymore. And we see his struggles, even though in the sprint race, he did get on a podium, but in the main race, he had to do that long lap penalty, which we can talk about that, which was also pushed him back as well. So, but I guess since we're bringing it up, and before we start talking about this coming weekend, I think it's strange that the penalties are in the main race and not in the sprint race. It's kind of like they get to start wherever on Saturday. I mean, if you're gonna penalize them for the whole weekend in both races, or let them take it the first race, which is a sprint race, and then keep it going. Even shorter laps. So in theory, the point should kind of equal out to how many laps were in the main race and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts on that? You think it's like, okay, we pick and choose which track these guys got to pay the penalty?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange how they pick and choose. Sometimes they can serve the penalty in the same race, but then they'll choose to serve it in the next Grand Prix. I think they should have a penalty in both the sprint and the GP. It is weird having them start the main position in the sprint and then have to serve or lose their grid position in the GP if they had to. I
Right.
think it should be something like, um, if you do a long lap penalty in the GP race, then the sprint you lose 3 grid positions, and to make because it's just shorter distance race, so a long lap penalty probably be more detrimental with how many laps you have. So I don't know, it should equal out on both. I mean, I know there's only 9 points on the table, so maybe if everyone was getting points, probably different as well. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Okay.
I
What are
agree
your
with you
thoughts?
on that.
What are your thoughts, Shakes?
I disagree, of course.
Okay.
I think the sprint is the sprint. It's no penalty should be in the sprint. I think when I see the sprint race, it reminds me of the test cricket, the shorter wickets. What is it? What is it called?
Sprint race?
Well, no, there's a long cricket session, then there's a short.
Oh yeah. You're better at that. Yeah.
I should
There's
know
one that's
this.
like 500 rounds or something, like 9 hours, and there's like a 3 hour round or something like that. Yeah.
So
So
I just think that the
or
sprint
24
needs
hours
to
or
be
something
kept
ridiculous.
fast. I think I'm so sorry for my cricket people. I should know this. I'm a cricket guy, but
Gotta look it up now. I don't want to get any.
you gotta go and look it up. You gotta go and look it up to save me. But I think there should be no penalty in the sprint because I think the sprint needs to be the sprint. It needs to be quick, fast, because I think that could also become the moneymaker of the weekend. It's the sprint race because it's shorter, it's quicker, and I think everyone and it's also the way you could make up points in a weekend, right? So that's why I think that the sprint should be kept clean, because that's really a place where you got a penalty in the Grand Prix, but you could make up some headway and gain some points in the sprint. So I would like for them to keep the sprint as clean as possible.
All right. Yeah. So the long game in cricket is 5 days.
Right. And I think it's 20 overs or something. What is it called?
That's a short game, I believe, with the 20 overs.
Yeah, 20 overs.
Or 20 matches. A short game is 7 to 8 hours in a single day. It's a short game.
Yeah. So I think all sports should have some sort of sprint in it, right? So like the NBA has their little sprint cup, where you play. I don't know what it's called. I've never seen it where they paint the courts ridiculous.
Oh, the in season or whatever.
In season tournament.
Yeah, whatever it is.
In season play, and then they have the playoff or whatever that has called.
Playoff. Yeah. I mean, these little sprints will bring people back if they're entertaining, if they're quick, less fouls, faster play. I think that will draw people in to sit down. I mean, what is it? It's just between 10 and 20 laps, right? So it's not like
I forget what this round was. Was this round 28 laps? Or am I thinking the last round? I think it was like 28 or 29. It was a long race.
It was a long race. Yeah. Yeah, I think the long race is hard for the. I think just looking at statistics now, what they're saying is when they talk about attention span, they're saying that older people have a shorter attention span and younger people got a longer attention span because they're sitting down and watching streams for 8-10 hours nonstop. Where us older people, we're more watching quick 1 minute things. So I think we want to keep that attention span short, quick, get more people into the sport, and just have the sprint be a free-for-all, like a madhouse free-for-all, and then you serve your penalty in the Grand Prix. But once it goes from weekend to weekend, and that's just the anticipation of the drama, right? Like, where are they gonna add this long lap penalty? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just adds more. It's like the pass interference in football. We all know that was a damn catch. You know what I mean?
I do.